Okay, so we're going to start now, guys, and a few more people joining as well. It's great to see such a nice turnout. So if the admins can make sure, please, to add any more people on the waiting list. We've had a great turnout today. It's really good to see. So admins, please make sure you add them and everyone's muted so we can proceed. Okay, so let's proceed with the presentation. So there's already been an introduction to myself. My name is Mo. I am the technical director at Premier Coin. I'll be leading the technical roadmap for our platform, and we'll be leading the dev and the software release for what we're looking to do. Also, a couple of the other mining and other technical points, which I'm going to go through. Tawhid, thank you very much for my introduction. That's a really detailed introduction. But to summarize, guys, I've worked at some of the largest financial firms over the last 20 years. I've built a career in building financial platforms, and I've built a career in helping startups achieve, especially in the last 6 years, cryptocurrency startups achieve their dreams of launching platforms into the community. So what we've been doing is focused on specifically cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. We've also worked on things such as payment platforms. So imagine if you go to a website and you want to pay with your cryptocurrency instead. So that's something that I've been specializing in recently. I'm also a consultant for market surveillance and regulatory reporting, which is an important thing for us in Premier Coin going forward. We want to at some point regulate in the different markets that we appear in as well. But I'll go through that as part of the technical roadmap. So guys, if you could hold any questions until the end of the presentation. We're going to have a Q&A session at the end. So please do note down, you're free to submit your questions in the chat on Zoom, but I'll answer the questions during the Q&A session at the end of the presentation. This session won't be very long. I'll try and be quite succinct, but detailed enough. So, guys, let's move forward. I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you very much for joining. This is a journey for all of us. This is a journey that I've led for many companies over the last 15, 20 years of my career. And I am solely focused with Premier Coin right now. So I do want to highlight that. I do want to iterate that as something important, something that I believe in, and something I think we can all generate immense value from. And why someone's background and experience is important, I'll go through as well, because that's one of the decision factors when anyone joins any project. So I want to first dispel any misunderstandings or myths about cryptocurrencies. The important thing for me to explain to you is what cryptocurrency is. In fact, right now, it's not so much different than normal currencies. If you think your bank account is, when you do a bank transfer, that is a digital representation of money. So when you use one of your mobile banking apps and you send money somewhere to, say, another account to pay for something, well, that's digital. We stopped trading in, you can still use notes and coins, but really most countries now, all countries now have digitized their financial economy, meaning even someone somewhere in Kenya is able to send money within their local community using a mobile phone. So in many ways, cryptocurrency shouldn't be any different than what we've been dealing with. You buy something and you sell something using a digital currency. So what is the difference then? Well, if you think pounds and dollars and whatever currency is controlled by a centralized authority, i.e. the government. And cryptocurrencies came about because there was a need to decentralize or remove the centralized power over currency. One of the main principles of Bitcoin or BTC was that it was decentralized, was that there was no one single person in charge. The community was in charge of determining how many coins were available, how many coins were mined, how many coins were, what the value of each coin was. And therefore, it was the community that decided to invest and it was a community that decided to change the value of that currency. Now, if you think about any form of currency, we in this room can decide that the highest form of currency is our word, our truth, our judgment. In many cases, cultures all around the world used to trade in a bartering system. I promise to give you this many of my product if you promise to give me something of your product. So it's a very going back to basics kind of way. Cryptocurrencies, in my view, is something that encourages communities to do finance or transact in a community controlled way. There are, of course, negatives, and we're not here to talk about just the positives. The negatives are some people could be using cryptocurrencies to hide or to buy certain goods without other people finding out. Now, gone are the days now where the dark web was full of these things. Right now, Bitcoin is as close to as being regulated as possible. There's many countries around the world who have decided that is their de facto currency. So places in South America, they have accepted BTC as a country currency. So this is definitely the future. And in fact, you will see most countries now privately acknowledging that many cryptos are becoming de facto. They're allowing them, they're monitoring them. Even the UK, the FCA has published papers about how to deal with BTC payments. So it's good, because what that means is that we will get more and more traction, we will get more and more value from this kind of community controlled platforms. Now, why is community control very important? Well, I'll talk about that in the next slide. Premier Coin came about because of initial discussions with some really valued founders that I've been working with. I mean, there's gentlemen like Kabir, there's gentlemen like Tawheed, and all of the academia that we have on this group, Professor Satish and so on. We want a project that we can all trust and we can all invest and we can all earn from. There are many coins on the internet now that many people are, you would have heard of many. Some of them have gone really high. Some of them are still establishing themselves. But we wanted to launch a coin that we truly believed in, that really believed in the community itself. So Premier Coin is all about creating a platform that allows a company, a celebrity, a sports company, a sports group, a sports team to enthuse, to power its fan base. Now, why is that important? Well, that's important because if you think about it, every company in the world, every sports team, every celebrity, every product company in the world has an item that it wants people to know about, and it wants those people to be passionate about that, whatever the item is. It could be a car, it could be a celebrity, it could be a famous football player, it could be anything. We want to build the platform for the next generation of encouraging and working with your community. Now, say for example, with Premier Coin, one of the key things we'd like to do is create a sports network. And what that means is through our contacts with Kabir, who will in a separate session will talk about all the great work he's doing with different charities and football teams and cricket teams all around the world. We want them to be able to monetize what they have. I've been speaking to many boxers in the UK. Boxing in the UK is very, very strong, but it hasn't got, at a certain level, the individual boxers don't have a way of generating or monetizing themselves. So this platform is all about how we generate a brand, how we engage with the fans of that brand, and how we monetize that interaction. Say, for example, we have a famous football team in the UK or Africa or wherever, or Asia, and they want to generate funds for their team. Premier Coin will be one way in which they will do that. They will be able to release, say, 1 million tokens for their team. They will be able to value that token. They will be able to set a price, and they will be able to say, if you really are interested in our product, in our team, in our players, then this is one of the ways we want to engage with you. Now, I can guarantee you, if my son's favorite football team launched a token, whether that team was doing badly or really well, they would want a slice of that token. They would say, Dad, I want that token because I truly believe and I love my team. Now, imagine what we're doing. We're turning that passion, that love, that admiration for a team, for someone, for some company, for some product, and we're monetizing that in Premier Coin. So Premier Coin is not just about one team or one sport or one celebrity. We are building the future of fan engagement. Now, how does that apply to us? We will be the first to lead in this way. The people joined on this call, you are our fans. We want to demonstrate to you what our value is. We want you to be able to communicate that value amongst your friends and family. So we want to give to you something that is valuable with a coin. And what's unique about Premier Coin is not only are we providing a coin, a blockchain, decentralized finance, but we're giving everyone tokens, you, our fans, tokens that represent your investment. But totally different from every single other coin and token project out there, we will be taking a large percentage of your investment and investing in a Bitcoin mining facility to give you Bitcoins from day one. So from the day one of our public launch, which is whenever that is, September, ideally we want to bring the BTC rewards earlier, but we'll talk about that later on the roadmap. Imagine now what I've said is you're potentially investing or participating in the launch of a platform that encourages product and sports engagement. It's encouraging fan tokens. And not only that, it's giving you BTC rewards, Bitcoin rewards from day one. And those Bitcoin rewards are our demonstration of our respect for our fans, which are you guys. So not only are we going to talk the talk, we're going to walk the walk ourselves in this project. So everybody on the internet is looking for the next big thing. And that next big thing has to be meeting certain criteria. And that's the slide I'm going to talk about next. Well, we want to give you an ability to invest in a platform that supports all types of sports teams, whether it's charity, your local community charity team. I've worked with a local charity football team. One of the hardest things is raising funds because they give away a lot of their time and money for their young children that participate. But I've also been involved with many high-profile sports celebrities and sporting teams, football teams. And now you can see recently sports players have been exchanged or bought using tokens as well. So some of the highest profile players have not only been given a financial reward, such as we're going to pay you $100 million, whatever it is, but they're also given $30 million worth of tokens. So this is, you are looking at a project which will be the Apple App Store, the iPhone store of all future sports team launches. We want to be able to list the biggest football teams, the biggest cricket teams, charities, celebrities, boxing, martial arts, even esports is a huge market. But no one has the ability to list all of that in a performance and scalable way. So we will be one of the first to give you a platform that you can see all of these different categories of sporting achievement that other people can invest in. The benefit for you investing in the core platform is, as we grow, your investment increases. Obviously, the more we grow, the more we add, the more your investment is of value. But unlike many other projects would say, you know what, give us 1 or 2 years and we'll build the platform and then we'll show you. We're saying no, we want to give back from day one. So we don't just want to wait until September in our public launch. We actually want to bring that forward to May, June, where we want to give you BTC rewards in your mobile app from the get-go. So what does that mean? Say you invest X amount into buying Premier Coin tokens, you will become some of the founding investors of a project. We will put 50% of that investment into mining rewards. So not only are you able to show to your friends and family, look, I've invested in something that I think is going to explode, but from day one, they're giving me something back. And this is a template that we want to demonstrate to the likes of Nike, to the likes of Adidas, to the likes of different football teams that we've been speaking to different football associations that we've been speaking to. Don't just take people's money and base it on a promise. Take people's money and give them something from day one. And then what happens? This ecology, this community then starts to say, well, I've got a university and I would like some of my students to be involved in generating a fan token. And I would like for them to be, the interaction with my students to be monetized, because my university has some brand, has some recognition. Alumni networks are a great way of generating fan tokens. But why not do it in such a way that you maintain that alumni relationship, keep that relationship going? So you can see, guys, when we're talking about what makes me so excited about this platform is we're not just building a fan token for 1 or 2 teams. We're building a fan token that replaces product marketing entirely. We should be able to take this platform and offer it to anybody, any product, even catering, even industry, anything that has a client engagement and a fan base. The second thing that you're looking for is when you're interested in investing in a product is, well, first of all, have they got the right idea? Is there any utility, i.e., are they actually doing something with that money? What's my return? That's the other thing you're looking for. And the next thing you're looking for, well, who are these guys? And how can I trust them? That's an absolute valid question. So for me, guys, please do look me up on LinkedIn. Please look at my references, not just myself, but all the academics that we have. I'm proud to say we have so many academics on our platform. We have Kabir, who is a very experienced, he's been leading Soccer League UK locally and internationally. These are the caliber of people that we have. We have Tawheed Rahman, who's been deploying cryptocurrency projects internationally and launching marketing networks, raising hundreds of millions of pounds. So you need a team that is trustworthy, that has the experience, but also that is open and honest with you. Now, we're running these sessions because we want to give the opportunity for you guys to ask questions, to challenge us, to guide us, to say, you know what you've said here is great. You've listed out a global event plan. Kabir Bhai will soon launch that. But can I recommend you do this? Because I think you'll add value. We are inclusive. We're led by some very experienced CEOs of their own background. And the truth is, when you get involved with somebody, a crypto project from the beginning, you actually see everything that they're doing. There's many projects that I personally have invested in on the internet, but you don't actually get to see what they're doing month by month, week by week. And to me, that isn't great. I really want that personal touch. So all of you here actually know somebody on the leadership team at Premier Coin that is guiding this project. And I think that that ability to connect with a community is paramount. So guys, we meet a lot of the criteria for a project, and we're real, where you can actually reach out and touch us. And to me, that's an important part of a crypto investment. What are the overall roadmap that we're looking for? Because I don't want to bore you too much on some of the nitty-gritty. I would like you to be able to ask questions as well. We had the private launch event in January, which was nicely attended. And yourselves are attending now as well. I'm grateful for you for attending this event and both events. One of the first things we want to do is we want to get the mobile app onto your hands so that you can see, okay, this was the investment that I made. This is how many tokens that has been allocated to me. And I want you to physically see that token value go up and up and up. I want you to see that. Okay, every day these guys are giving me value. When you see that for real, not just our token, but the BTC rewards that you get, for me, that's a very powerful thing. So we've already kicked off the, right now, guys, we've done the mobile app specification, the UI specification. My dev team has started already. We'll be on target, and we'll be launching the app soon. So everyone who's already invested will be given a login. Anyone who wants to invest can, and they'll be able to access the mobile app. And very soon, as we launch into the mobile app release, we want to get into the sort of pre-sale event. And what's important about what's a private sale, what's a pre-sale, and a public launch is, guys, we don't want investors to just be here and go tomorrow. This is not what we're looking for. So we want you to hold on to your investment. We want all of us to grow. We've given a significant portion of our token value to the community. The founders have, compared to other projects, the founders have far less compared to our advisors. Many of you are on this call as well. And we want to go to launching the mining platform very quickly. So even though we've said you'll get BTC rewards in the public launch around September, I'd like to bring that forward. So I do have an aspiration to have the mining platform launched in June, to immediately give people who've joined the private sale and the pre-sale value from the get-go. And this is a technical roadmap. So this is the mining platform launch, the mining platform development, the rewards, the mobile app, etc., etc. But another layer of this, which will be published in another meeting, we'll have another meeting for this, guys, is a event roadmap. And that event roadmap is talking about Premier Coin locally and nationally and internationally, taking our message directly into companies and taking our message into communities themselves as well. So we have a really good roster of events coming up. As you can imagine, we have a strong focus on sports and marketing events, but I'm very keen on taking this product to different agencies and different financial companies that I've worked with who would love to be able to monetize products that they have. So guys, we have a very summarized roadmap here. We've got the mobile app being developed, the mining platform on target, and then the public launch later on in this year. This is a quick overview of the mobile app that's in development. Very easy on the eye, very easy to use, simple, and you can see one of the key things that we'd like to present is as soon as you log in, this is how many Premier Coin tokens you have, and this number constantly goes up. I mean, every day this number should go up. So your mining rewards will be published daily. And guys, it's something that this mining reward is going to your wallet. You can do whatever you like with it. That's yours. You can buy something, you can keep the investment. I do suggest though that you hold on, because there'll be lots of increase in value of BTC coming soon. So, but that's not a financial thing. We're not advising any finance here, but we strongly believe there's much more journey for Bitcoin in terms of its value. So hence why we've decided BTC mining is a good thing right now. So guys, I'm going to head to the questions now. So please do not be embarrassed. Ask any question you like. And if you can, please type in the question, because we'd like to use these as FAQs. But if you're not feeling shy, more than welcome for you to shout out, put your hands up, and we'll unmute and you can ask your question as well. So guys, hopefully that summary was really useful, and I'll take any questions now. Okay. Thank you, Professor. Please unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Professor Marcel, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yes, perfectly.
Sorry, I was been speaking since I didn't know I'm not being heard. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. I joined very, very late. I wonder if these discussions are recorded so I could play it over and to catch up with the area that were discussed much earlier before I joined. And
Sure.
then I don't know how often we can hold these discussions. I know cryptocurrency is the latest trend in going on in the world now, and everybody is concerned. And I think this Premier currency, Premier Coin, is going to be a very wonderful one for people to invest in, because sports is where. If you see now, I'm talking from Abuja, Nigeria. If you every weekend, when you hear Premier Leagues in football and all the boxing and the rest of them, you see thousands of people troop to corner shops or restaurants and eatery and the fields where they play them live and watch. So I have that feeling that it's going to be it's going to be bigger than Bitcoin quite soon, to be honest.
I hope so.
So I'm very, very interested in representing you in Africa. I want to understand how it works and how I can market it. So if it's possible, I would like to have a replay of this so that I can
of course
go through it once more. Thank you very much.
Of course, yes, thank you. Professor Marcel, I just want to say to you that I have some good deep connections in and a lot of love for Nigeria as well. And I want to talk about this because Professor Marcel, I've been trained by some of the most, how shall I put it, most powerful boxers in my sort of lifetime. Some of them have been training me and they've been supporting me as well. I'm a total amateur, but one of the things we tried to do a year ago, a year and a half ago in Nigeria, was to launch a boxing academy. Wow. We would have loved to have a fan token based, and the academy was called One Bang Academy. And one of the things I'd like to do is revisit the academy infrastructure in Nigeria. How do you monetize an academy? Well, one of the ways is you create a fan token that gives the investors an assurance that their money is being used worthwhile, that their money is being invested in something that goes to the community, that their money is being used to give them some value in return. So we're not just asking for, charity. This is one way where people can see, you know what, from me investing in the Nigerian Boxing Academy, for example, I'm getting rewarded financially, and that academy is generating value on the ground. This, Professor Marcel, is, in my view, groundbreaking, because we're monetizing the relationship between, I'm a big fan of community sports in Nigeria, because I've supported, Professor Marcel, football tournaments, and I've supported boxing tournaments. Wow. But the ability to directly action, to get direct investment, is very hard, even in most countries, even in the UK, to directly make an impact. So we'd love to see how we encourage that, Professor, with your guidance, your support. How do we get the name of Premier Coin out there in the developing nations who are more interested in cryptocurrency than developed nations?
I can only assure you that the moment I understand how this works, I will present it here. I have a Concept Sports Academy as well, where we train younger talents. We discover them and present them for bigger networks in Europe and America. But this this is like an investment in the sport industry, in which we're lacking over here in Africa. So it would be a big breakthrough. Encourage investors to come in mass and help to promote these sports and give them value for their investment. The funds are huge and they're not being tapped or utilized at all. The funds for Premier, football, sports, basketball, all kinds of sports, boxing and the rest of them, they have massive supporters, yeah? And this is the point that will unify all of that. So
I think, Professor, you've understood it totally. And I look forward to interactions with yourself. I look forward to how we can lead this project in the dimensions that you're talking about. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm available.
Guys, I've been PM'd several questions, and many of those questions relate to the white paper on the website. And we will also put an FAQ on the website. So things such as, you know, where do I transfer USDT to? Where do I transfer my payment to? How do you receive coins, etc.? Like, I mean, those kind of things. I don't actually deal in the how shall I put it? The sort of business administration side. There are teams that we have, and if you get in touch with Tawhid, who organized this call, he'll be able to answer many of those questions. And all of the others seem to be answered from the white paper. But for today, I'd like to make sure that everyone leaves with an understanding, and I'll go back to this slide of what we're talking about. So we are talking about, if someone asks you, what did you join today? Well, I joined a call regarding Premier Coin. And what is Premier Coin about? Well, it's about building a platform for initially raising the value of the Premier Coin platform, developing the Premier Coin platform. And what does it mean? Well, it means it's a platform to allow any individual, any company, any sports team, any large, small, medium, large company to engage with its fan base. You could be a celebrity, you could be a charity, head of a charity, you could have a company that does solar panels, you could be somebody that has a delivery company, you could have takeaways. How do you engage with the most important people in your network, your customers? This is how you do it. If you create a brand on our platform, we'd be able to set up that brand, allow you to monetize your brand, allow you to monetize your own fan tokens. This is what Premier Coin is about. And the first example of a fan token is our own token, the Premier Coin token. So thank you for some more questions. So can you enlighten us how members can participate and what things they could be doing to both benefit themselves and Premier Coin? Thank you very much, Professor, for that. So we want you to be founding investors of the platform. If you've already invested, thank you very much. If you are considering investing, have any more questions, please PM me directly or speak to Tawhid directly on how you can invest. Right now, the support that we need is for you to believe in what we're building, support in the investment required to build the platform. We obviously need to build a platform to start creating value, to start issuing tokens, to start onboarding other firms, other teams. We obviously need to build that. This roadmap is all about building that platform. And secondly, it's about attending our events. How can you benefit us and how can you benefit yourself? Well, we will have separate events on educating ourselves. What is finance? What is cryptocurrency? What's the future of payment gateways? What's the future of sports? How is esports related to Premier Coin? These are amazing topics, but they will take hours to complete in one call. Please, one of the best ways you could benefit yourself is take part in our events, be productive, be engaged with us, comment on us, like our social media platforms, and give us feedback. So we're not just here just to ask for money. We're here to say, be involved, take part, whether you invest or not, like what we're doing and share what we're doing. So the next question is from Daval, and how can we support them as well as market our coin? So in the initial phase, we want to, by September, we want to be able to say, we've launched the Premier Coin platform, we've launched the ability for us to launch other brands, other products, etc. But obviously, every brand and every team and every individual that we launch, it itself takes a significant effort. So every onboarding will have its own roadmap. So how can we support them? Well, if you market your own coin, then your own token, to speak, if you want to market your own token, get in touch with us. Talk about what product you'd like to launch, talk about what sports team you have, what connect you have, and we'll add you to the roadmap. Beyond September, obviously, if you consider, we're like the App Store. Do you remember the Apple App Store when it first came out? There was sort of a handful of apps, but very soon it became millions of apps. So this is where we are. You will be involved in the development of the App Store. And one of the first apps we want to launch are the ones that you tell us has significant value. If you think there's a value of your project, of your product, of your company, we'll add that to the launch roadmap. Please get in touch. So John Morris, does the white paper have an opportunity to tell us what we're going to do? So 1 second, you have what's please everyone WhatsApp me so we can have further conversations. Yep. So we've got from the Premier Coin admin team. Thank you very much for the question, John. Please go through the white paper and then get in touch with us on our WhatsApp platform for any other questions, and we'll make sure everything's answered in terms of how to go about doing it. So in terms of how to go about investing, how to go about onboarding your own token, how to go about soon enough, how to download our app, get that installed, etc. All of those instructions will be shared on our WhatsApp group. So there'll be a special WhatsApp group that we communicate directly with one another. And I think that's valuable because I've seen lots of token launches that actually don't interact with their investors. There isn't a communication channel. So we're trying to gear everyone towards that number, which is shared on the chat group. Please, everyone save that number. And any questions you have, PM that number, and you'll be also added with your permission to the Premier Coin WhatsApp group. And we'll be able to give you announcements, give you broadcasts as well. Hopefully, John, that answers your question. Are there any other questions from anybody else? Guys, I'm going to hand it over to Tawhid now. It is a very inclusive system. I do like that, Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. You know, Sam, that is, if you think about it, that word you've mentioned, inclusive. If you think about it, why should any company on the London Stock Exchange take anyone's money and not give anything back? Not even a communication. I remember when my father invested in Royal Mail and British Gas and stuff, he hardly got anything in return. And look what happened to those companies. They were privatized under the underneath the eyes of all of the original investors. So inclusive, in my view, BT must be the biggest disappointment alongside Royal Mail. How on earth did we as taxpayers invest in these things and it was sold off for peanuts? It doesn't make sense to me. So being inclusive is my reason to be. I'm inclusive with my children. If anyone knows me and has been to any of the events that I've spoken at, I walk amongst the people that I talk with. This is not me lecturing to anyone. When we do any project, it has to be inclusive. When we take anyone's money, it has to be with trust and inclusivity, meaning you're not just giving us charity, you want something in return. We have to respect that. And we're building the platform. If you think about it, Premier Coin is the only project that is saying we're building the platform to make the future of marketing inclusive. Why are we paying millions and millions of dollars to Facebook as marketing budget, but we don't get anything in return? I have many, many startups. I must have paid hundreds of thousands in ads to Google and Facebook. Do you actually get anything in return? Facebook should really say, thank you very much for that investment. How about you get an additional bonus of this is how much ad revenue will give you as a share. So the ability to think like that is in our DNA. And what we're trying to show you is this is how we think. This is what we believe in. And I truly believe if we can build the Premier Coin platform that allows other brands to be inclusive, we will revolutionize marketing. And that was a message I said at the private sale event, and I'm standing by it now. It's something I strongly believe in, and I would not be here. There's many projects I can be involved in. I would not be here unless this is something I truly believed in. So absolutely, thank you very much, everybody. Walter, that's a fantastic statement. You know, why is it that access to Gmail, access to Google, access to Facebook is free? In fact, it's not free. We've decided to give away our identity, our network. Facebook has monetized our network and not given anything back to us. If somehow I'm part of LinkedIn, and through LinkedIn, a recruiter has found someone called John Morris, for example. I'm just picking on that name, John, if you don't mind. Someone has found John Morris and said, you know what? He seems very interesting. He's a connect of Mo. Let me go and tap John. Shouldn't I get a percentage of that recruitment fee? Apply that model, guys, to the sports industry. Look at what's happening in boxing right now. Look at what's happening in football right now. Everything is expanding. Everything is going to, well, the boxer saying, well, hold on. Why are you as a promoter taking the majority of the fees? No, it's mine. And why are you as a football association taking significant fees? That belongs to the team. And me as an individual, I would say my kids invest in very expensive football shirts every year, very expensive season passes, very expensive tickets. How come some of that reward doesn't come back to them? This is, in my view, a lacking of inclusivity. So Sam, I think you nailed it on the head, and Walter, you actually shut the coffin just there. And I think many firms like Facebook, many firms like Google will struggle with what's coming up. Marketing 2.0, or the next generation of marketing, is all about how you create direct inclusivity, direct connections with your fan base. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't think the technology we're building, guys, is going to be groundbreaking. I truly believe it is. And I think it attacks the points that you said, Sam and Walter. Yeah, so Sam, Amir Khan is a connect of ours, is a contact of ours. Kabir knows him well. And in fact, we've spoken with many boxers and kickboxers, MMA fighters, etc. And they all say the same thing. It's hard to generate the funds they need now to get to where they want to. I've personally supported boxers to even pay their license fees. It is very, very tough to even get somewhere in sports without that inclusive community support. So guys, I truly believe in it, and I hope you do too. I think I've spoken enough. I'm gonna thank you very much for everybody for attending. You guys, you can see I'm passionate about technology, passionate about sports. I'm passionate about inclusive marketing. And I think these are areas that you obviously are passionate about. Otherwise, you wouldn't join this call. I look forward to meeting you all in person if I haven't met you already. So I'm going to hand it back to Tawhid now. Thank you very much.
Hey everyone. Right. Thank you, Mo, for that amazing presentation. Can everyone hear me well? John, I can see you. If you could just raise your hand if you can hear me. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mo, for that amazing presentation. I think we've all got more insight in terms of Premier Coin and what it's about. Just want to finish off this meeting by saying, if everyone on the call don't mind, if you could WhatsApp the number that I've provided on the group for any further conversations, because I know the most important aspect of the meeting is the questions, the nitty-gritty stuff, the detailed stuff. There's a lot of minor questions that might not be relevant in a meeting full of 30 people, perhaps, or even 100. But it's definitely a one-on-one conversation, and I want to be able to provide that type of facility for people to be able to ask questions. So please message me on that mobile number that I've provided, and let's talk further on WhatsApp. And we do have a WhatsApp group with the community of Premier Coin, and also want to be able to provide further groups where we can have three-way calls with Mo. If there's any technical questions, if there's any other questions that can be dealt with, I'd love to do three-way calls and have more conversations with yourself. So please do private message me, and let me be your guide. Let me be of support in whatever capacity I can. Thank you all for joining this call. I will keep everyone posted in the group for any further updates or any events that are coming up for Premier Coin. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a lovely Sunday.